Good morning. It's Brian of Brian's Budget Bonsai, and today is Sunday, November 16th, and I just got finished doing a little exercising. I'm trying to take better care of myself, so I'm a little sweaty, a little bit red-faced, but you won't be having to see this mug for very much longer because it's going to all be about the bonsais, or what I might be able to make into a bonsai. And this is inspired by Nigel Saunders, and it is trying to do something with my overgrown aloes. I have two of these that have really outgrown their pots, and I'm just going to try to see if there's something I can do with it. I was just playing around with this thing, cut a bunch of stuff off already, as you see, and kind of like got down to the pot. I'm like, yeah, that pot is actually, even though it's kind of dirty because it hasn't seen the light of day in a long time, it does look nice. And if I can get this into something that kind of like stays in the pot a little bit more. As you can see, I've done a few things where I've already cut some of the longer ones that were dangling off, and cut them down to just the last two leaves on here. And some of these have got some very interesting trunks, so I'm wondering about whether or not I can make these into either like a bonsai forest or something like that. We're gonna have a lot of these by the time we're done, so we're going to be able to be very selective on what we're doing. And you see it's already quite littered with the cutoffs of the leaves already. But I've got two of these that I'm going to try to see if I can tame back. And I don't know if this could even be considered bonsai, but because these really aren't woody stalks, woody trunks, they're kind of fleshy stalks. But I was kind of inspired by Nigel's Aloe bonsai, and again, and a little bit by Tamino Exa. Try something different approach. So I'm going to try something different with this and just see what I can do. I was being very meticulous at first, but there's so much of it. Really don't need to be too meticulous. I'm going to start off by just kind of like cutting back anything that's kind of overlapping the pot, because right now you cannot see the pot at all. So I'm going to go in here and just cut back as far as I can anything that is kind of overlapping, because I want to leave just the ones that are kind of uphill. This one actually had broken off already and had already started to reroot. It's actually, you can see somewhere in here, they're actually putting out some little aerial roots in here too. Here we go. Cut these back. Cut these back. Going back all the way as much as I can. There we go. Yeah, some of this could just cut back like that. Oop, a little pup. Yeah, because these put out so many pups, I'm sure anybody who's had an aloe very quickly has too much aloe, because if they're in some place where they're happy, they'll just put out more and more pups, and pretty soon your pot looks like this, completely overflowing, and you just can't make heads or tails out of any of it. There we go. So it's kind of weak and sad. We're going to take that one out, even though it's in the center. This is actually the smaller of the two aloe plantings I have. There we go. The other one's even larger, and actually even has a few little, they're like, I don't know if they're not bobbleheads, but they're little figurines from The Walking Dead. I believe Glenn and Herschel. So we might actually see Glenn and Herschel if you're fans of the show. You'll know who Glenn and Herschel are. Oh, yeah, that was just a big clump. Okay. So, almost. Got a little bit more. There we go. Okay. Now that gets us down to the bare minimum in here. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to take off all the dead leaves, and I'm also going to cut back, as I was doing before, cut back to just the 2 leaves here. This is where the terminal growth comes from. Nigel also had tried cutting from the top down rather than from the bottom up. This is going to make these things get continuously longer and longer and longer, the way I'm cutting these like that. He tried cutting back to, like, from the top off, cutting all this and just leaving maybe 2 or 3 of the larger ones, hoping that would cause like more like pup formation further back on the branch. That's what he tried this most recent time. I'm going to stick right now, for at least for this one, since I already started with this, is cut back and leave just those 2 branches. I have 2 branches for those 2 leaves at the top, so that the next branches can start to form. And this will hopefully clear up a little of the clutter that's going on in here. Some of these are really big and juicy. Too bad I don't have a burn. I could slather myself in natural aloe. That sounds like a weird thing to say, though, when you come right down to it. Too bad I don't have a burn. That doesn't seem like a very intelligent thing to say. Boy, I wish I'd severely injured myself. Got all these bandages laying around with nothing to do. I should just see if I could do something reckless. No, don't do that. There's a nice little cross section of what these things look like in the center. It looks like it's almost completely clear. You can see through it. So, I know there's a lot of, especially in traditional medicine, not traditional medicine, but I guess it would, or natural holistic medicine or something along that lines, that aloe is used quite often in that, and it is medicinal. There's none of that hocus pocus stuff, but this actually does have medicinal purposes. Like I say, it's good for treating burns. Excuse me, it's good for your skin. There's a lot of things that have aloe in it in the cosmetic aisles, and it's for a good reason. I know my hand sanitizer that I use for work has got aloe in it, and it keeps my hands, after dousing them in alcohol continuously, it does keep my hands from drying up, cracking, and falling off. Yeah. Let's see, we'll leave these two. Okay. I cut off some of these ones that are just kind of like stubs and stuff. There are a lot of rocks that are in here, and I probably had these rocks in originally when I planted the aloes to kind of hold them in place. So they're obviously not needed right now. So I'm going to take them out and then maybe just put in a little extra dirt in there or soil. See if whether or not it's that. See that one? Yeah, I think that's a side branch. I don't think, well, we broke it off anyway. Yeah, it's a side branch from that one. We don't need that. So I don't know if I can redirect some of these. Because it's got like a lot of stuff here and not a lot of stuff here. So might be able to move some things around. They do have thrown out a lot of aerial roots, so can't really move some of these without pulling up their roots. Just getting rid of some of these bare trunks. Don't think they will bud back from the bare trunks. I think that was one thing that Nigel did find was that yeah, if you cut back to just an empty branch with no greenery on it, it will die off. So you do need a little green. Leave a little green. Leave a little green for the rest of us. And let's see if I can just move this over here to here. Yeah, some of this is clutter of these branches that have, these are the I keep on forcing that, it's going to break, but you know, that's rooted in. All right. Oop, I did break this one. But that one does have, well, might be able to root that one. I don't know. Might be able to do is take some of these pups that I had found. Where are they? Yeah, some of these little pups that I pulled out and things like this. Might be able to just kind of stick them in there. Again, this little pup's already got some roots on it, so just trim that part off and just stick that in there, and just take a little bit of soil and just okay. shove that in there. Okay. So that is what we've got right now here. You can see that this pot is very, very dirty. So I'm going to try to clean it up a little bit. Let me see here. Hold on. Okay. I've got a little bit of my soap and water mixture here. I put it in a little bowl and with my brush here. And I'm just going to see if that'll work to clean this pot off. Ooh, I don't know if I'm just spreading the dirt around or what. I might be. Oh no, it's coming off. Patience is a virtue, Brian. Patience? I don't have time for patience. All right. That's getting a little bit better. Anything that's still on the pot after we clean it and can't get it off, we call it patina and say it's a feature. That's how we get away with that. It's kind of like when your car gets rusty. You know, it's like it adds character. This is a nice pot. It's got a little desert motif. So it is a shame that literally you could not see it. It was so buried. It's incurved, as you can see, which means if I ever wanted to get this stuff out of here, I'm more likely to break the pot or tear the plants up trying to get it out. So this may never need to really be repotted. I might just, have to cut it back and thin it out every once in a while. Add a little soil here and there if necessary, but these are going to be very happy living out there and the rest of their existence in this little pot. It's coming off pretty good. We might need more than one scrubbing. Matter of fact, I might just skip to the end now that you kind of see what I'm doing here. Okay, here is the finished product. You can see the pot did clean up a little bit, but there are a lot of things that are just staying that won't come off. And again, we're just going to call that patina and be done with it. I did find one other pup I wanted to put in there. So a total of 3 new pups I'm trying to go in to fill this space there. And I did put little rocks in there to kind of hold them in place as I'm moving this around. One of the things that actually I noticed, because this did start as a house plant, is that this does not have any drainage at the bottom. So this has been, you think that this would cause like root rot or something along that lines. That these are probably, but yeah, no matter what, watered, not watered, neglected, these things just kept chugging along. It's probably that bonsai soil I added to that is the only time this thing has seen bonsai soil. So we're going to see how this does, and over the next year or two, and we'll probably have to trim this back from time to time. But it looks better than the monster where you couldn't even see the pot because it was just a massive amount of aloe plants cascading everywhere. Ah! Let me back up a little bit here. That was a little intense there, wasn't it? All right, so this is the larger of my two aloe plantings. And, oops, it just came right out of its little shell pot. All of this, you see, was the bowl it was in. Again, no drainage on this at all. Just a shallow little pot. I did not intend to have all of this come out when I tried to pick it up, but yeah, this is the whole pot that was in, this massive amount was in this little thing. And I don't know if you can see it. There's Glenn. And what does he got? He's got his little machete. All right, we're going to get Glenn out of there. Glenn did not deserve to get buried like that. Glenn didn't deserve anything that happened to him. And somewhere in there, there's a Herschel. Oh, I see that there's also a couple other two types of aloe in there. I might pull these out and give them their own separate little thing. But what I think I'm going to do, though, is since this is a massive undertaking, we're going to make this a two-parter. I don't do too many two-parters, except for I did my Ficus Frenzy, I think. But we're going to tackle this separately. And then I think after that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to see if I can do something with some of the longer of these ones that I'm cutting off, the cascading ones. And see if I can come up with a way of kind of like making them like a fusion or a bundle, like tying them together with string, something like that. To have it kind of like more of like resembling more of a trunk. We'll see what we can do. We can see what we can do. We're going to have to be a little creative with that, but I think that's more time than I have right now. I'm going to take this opportunity to kind of end this video here and tackle this monstrosity in a separate video. Again, this isn't a traditional bonsai setting, but we're going to see if we can make it a little bonsaiing. So until then, Herschel, I'm sorry, Herschel's in there still. We got to get Herschel out. He's on crutches. So if you know what I'm talking about, that's the stage Herschel's in. But Glenn and I are going to say goodbye and come back in a little bit to tackle the beast here. We'll call this one Medusa. This is Medusa, and we are going to see if we can tame Medusa. All right, so this is Brian signing off, and stay cool. Happy bonsaiing. See you next time.